What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Hitbox European Championship here on the Pro Dota English channel by Alpha Draft Steel Series and esportgaming.com. This is the first series of the day, and it's going to a Game 3. Looks like mYinsanity just forgot to put a tag up at all, but that's fine because it's going to be Game 3 between mYinsanity and Aspera. Tied 1-1. I'm Mikelorus, going to be joined by mOrage, please, for this third and final game, and looks like Darkseer's actually getting a rather early ban out this time.
Yeah, exact same opening from Aspera. Bounty Lina bans with the first pick, Queen of Pain, coming out from Undershock. He definitely overperformed in the last games, as did Afterlife. We spoke about it at the beginning of the series, how comfortable he is on the Clockwork. So exact same opening coming out from Aspera. Don't fix what ain't broken. They're going to once again ban out that Naga Siren that was played so well in the first game by mYinsanity. And similar opening coming out from MYI. They're going to go for Earthshaker Gyro as opposed to the Earthshaker SF.
And this, as far as safe lanes is concerned, a lot more aggressively capable than an Earthshaker anti-mage weird dual lane there. And that's a really a big problem for the last game, was that they just couldn't get Nikuebi any sort of farm at all. But this time, the Gyrocopter, he's a little bit more capable. If you get a fissure, if you wall off the Clockwork, if you someone get caught in the cogs of the Clockwork as Gyrocopter, you're going to be able to get those kills. So at least for the safe lane for mYinsanity, they'll be able to do a little bit of something. But now their mid lane is a little bit going to be a little bit more up in the air. I expect to see a mid lane ban out here from Aspera. Lina's already been taken care of, as has the Leshrac. Maybe they're going to ban out the Shadow Fiend again, although I'm pretty sure Queen of Pain after that first game is going to be more than comfortable going into the same lineup again.
I mean, they could ban out the Shadow Fiend just because the Earthshaker will probably be able to stay mid lane. As you mentioned, the Gyro being a little bit tougher to dive, a little bit more self-sufficient than the Anti-Mage, having the range, albeit not long range, to last hit there. And they will pick up a very good zoning support, so definitely look for the Radiant side to be putting their Earthshaker towards that mid lane or in a roaming role else. They could have a pretty strong defensive try as well. So Shadow Fiend not out of the question. Clink's ban comes out from the Radiant side, so Aspera not going to be able to pick that up for the Apathy. Another hero that works fairly well with the Queen of Pain Clockwork. We saw a lot of times the Luna having to rotate to the other side of the map to deal with the split push coming out from the Radiant side from MYI. So Clink's is just a little bit more proficient at doing so, having the Shadow Walk. So I don't mind that ban from the Radiant.
And Anti-Mage is very similar as well, just being able to bounce around in a whole bunch of places. Having that super mobile lineup is what we were talking about a lot in the tail ends of the last game, and it seems like Aspera have a slight edge in that regard. It's, you know, nothing that's the mYinsanity side can't overcome, especially now with Rubik, not exactly known for his mobility, but Clockwork Queen of Pain being able to initiate. And what's the opposite form of initiation on the other end for mYinsanity? Well, usually it's going to be coming in the form of that off lane, but it's not Clockwork, it's not Darkseer, so it's going to be a little bit more awkward. Aspera should be looking to start most of the fights.
I don't mind a Beastmaster pickup here for the Radiant side. It combos well with the Skywrath Mage, it combos pretty well with the Gyrocopter, and it's really good against the Queen of Pain, and even to some extent the Clockwork when he cogs up a target. If you're able to roar him before he gets that battery assault off, should allow that target to, that friendly target to be able to escape unscathed. So I know it's a pickup that's a little bit niche, a little bit more rare in the recent patch. I feel like the Necro books could be really good here as well with the mana burn. So I wouldn't mind that pickup. Of course, Roar, fairly easy spell to steal for Rubik, so Aspera somewhat have a soft counter already to that, but definitely going to need an offlaner with some form of initiation and some form of lockdown, as you touched upon.
Either that, or they could look to just swarm the Aspera side with aggression. Templar Assassin, not going to be that offlaner, not really going to be that initiator either. There's a certain situation where Templar Assassin can start a fight, but not really a large-scale one. Should have an okay matchup versus the Queen of Pain as long as she's on point with her meld. It really is up to Aspera to keep Sentry Ward coverage there to help Queen of Pain win that lane. But Templar Assassin with potential help from Skywrath Mage, potential rotations from the Earthshaker as well, definitely does have a chance at just completely crushing this Queen of Pain. It's not an incredibly high chance, but being a very low range hero, Templar Assassin, you would expect her to not have a great lane versus Queen of Pain. Usually it's like 60-40 for Queen of Pain, but with these potential rotations coming in from mYinsanity, it becomes a little bit more 50-50, maybe even a little bit Templar Assassin favored.
It definitely could be an interesting matchup. It's not one that's totally or easily won by the Queen of Pain by any chance, so, or by any stretch. So we'll see what the safe laner ends up being for Aspera here. That'll be interesting choice from them. We may even see a Viper pick up here, throw the Queen of Pain in the safe lane, and just dominate that Templar Assassin mid. Viper also pretty good up against the Skywrath Mage with the Corrosive Skin, having that extra a magical resistance, but definitely a super boring hero, so hopefully not.
We don't want to see that boring stuff. We want to see Night Stalkers, all day Night Stalker, man. No matter what, first pick.
A team with Night Stalker should always win. It's true.
That's true. And
Unlike the team
same
with
thing
techies.
goes for like that caliber of hero, maybe like the lower tiers.
Yeah.
Love seeing them win. We just saw Pudge yesterday. He won.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Techies won too. That's terrible. And there's the Techies pickup from Aspera. So.
GG, Aspera win. mYinsanity, they're down to lower bracket. Everyone go home.
Well, even they have the TA, right? So that's a decent soft counter to Techies. I feel like if she is well aware of where the mines are, can throw up that full charge of refractions and soak up some of them. So not a terrible counter there. Techies definitely something Aspera is comfortable with. So look for the Techies to probably be run towards the off lane with the clock, maybe early on in the laning stage, and then them grab a somewhat self-sufficient safe laner here for the dire side.
Would have loved to have a Clinks Aspera, I'm sure, but not going to happen because it was banned out. We have Broodmother to be banned out, which was where I was going to go with the whole swarming the Aspera side. Like, why bother initiating when you could just always pressure equally across all the lanes? That's really what Broodmother is going to do. We have Slark being banned out by the mYinsanity side. Nico probably going to pick up the Gyrocopter instead. So still the off lane is up in the air. Beastmaster looking actually a little bit better now because 9 times out of 10 Beastmaster is going to go for that Necro book, and level 3 Necros are really good at the very least for giving you True Sight to deal with those techies.
Right.
So I'm not really sure if that's something that they're going to be comfortable running right now, but in theory, if they have a hero player assignment that's capable, then yeah, go ahead and go for it. Seems pretty good.
Yeah, I think any stable offlaner would be fine. That was not what I was thinking in terms of stable. I was going to say that I feel like they're putting a lot on the back of this TA, so maybe having the Legion gives them a little bit less for the TA there. It does ensure a call down and ensures a Mystic Flare as well, so pretty good combo there, of course. The aggression is definitely real with a couple of Blink Dagger heroes in the Templar Assassin LC and the Earthshaker. So gonna look to punish the fact that Aspera is mostly going to be fighting 4v5 with that Legion Commander. I'm not a huge advocate for the LC, but I don't mind the pickup here, and I think it could work.
I love seeing it, at the very least. I want to see Legion Commander win a little bit more because it's at the very least an interesting change of pace. I think as far as Legion Commander fitting into the mYinsanity draft, it goes right in there. Like you said, Skywrath Mage comboing up. Most of the time, you're going to get a kill if you duel into Mystic Flare. And for Aspera, there's not really that much that they could do to save those allies that get caught by that. But versus Aspera, now with the Luna pickup, like Legion Commander, if she's going to be running into duel like a Rubik or something, then eating an Eclipse, yeah, not good times. Even like dueling a Luna, I'm not really sure if she's even going to win that straight up, but the upside is certainly here for the mYinsanity team. Like, they have so much scaling late game with the Legion Commander, with the Templar Assassin, the Gyrocopter. They just have to make sure to have some sort of decent early start. But for Aspera, they last picked the Luna. What do you think?
Yeah, it's nice for the Eclipse. You don't want to dive her, but not the tankiest hero early on before a couple of items come out, and definitely very susceptible to an early Blink Dagger from the Legion Commander. Short range as well, so TA can certainly get up in close. It does have the decent move speed, maybe gets out of the second missile from the call down, but yeah, I feel like they have a lot of ways to deal with the apathy here. It seems like kind of just a comfort thing for Aspera. Clockwork, Queen of Pain, Luna, all picked in the last game, and I guess don't fix what isn't broken. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know that the Luna really looks great against the Radiant lineup, as opposed to just being something that the apathy wants to play.
This time Aspera don't really have a draft that could just doom push in with that Luna. It still can in theory. You gotta remember that Techie's landmines are amazingly efficient at killing off towers, but you don't really want to have like a Techies do that. If that's what you're doing, it's most likely going to be in a split push capacity, but we'll see. As mYinsanity, they are going to run with a little bit more of a greedy late game draft. They got Nikwa, who's going to be playing the Legion Commander Thug, looking in the top rune as a Templar Assassin, puts up Refraction to eat the landmine, and now going to go straight towards this Queen of Pain. They also get a Fissure onto this Techies. Doesn't have any Suicide. Looks like he's going to be first blood. Lift up is there, but Skywrath Mage still going to draw the kill. Nikwa, he's going to grab the Bounty Rune, or at least try to, and then book it out of there. He'll survive. Everyone, in fact, from mYinsanity will get out alive. kind of bruised, kind of battered, but alive, and that's really all you want. Who else is going to be playing what? Thug on the TA, Spartan on the Scarith Mage, and Niku Baby had no part in that fight at all. He's going to be playing the Gyrocopter. He was able to grab the bottom bounty rune.
Yeah, easy bounty rune for the gyro there. Afterlife going to be able to pick up his signature clockwork again and gets the creep block off onto the 3 melee creeps towards the mid lane. Undershock might be in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to get caught with a Fissure. Refraction charges with the damage are still there for Thug. He is going to try and salve up. Thug not going to be able to get in range with that slow there. But from the high ground, the Arcane Bolt is there, and Thug is going to drop. Undershock going to fall after, but solo kill goes the way of the Queen of Pain, and considering there were 3 heroes there, not too bad for Undershock there. To round out the lineup for Aspera, Arzeek picking up the techies like the dirty boy he is, the apathy on the Luna, and finally Limbo playing the Rubik.
It is, it's nice solo kills worth of experience for Undershock, which 1v1 versus the Templar Assassin is certainly going to help out a lot, but Scarith Mage is also the one to pick up solo experience from the Queen of Pain kill, and the Scarith Mage getting a couple of extra levels, that will definitely hurt, especially the likes of Afterlife on this bottom lane, who already is not really going to be favored in this matchup. He'll have a pretty good time to get experience, but once the poke starts coming, it's really going to hurt. So pretty much trading safe lane effectiveness for mid lane effectiveness, or I guess vice versa, is that kill for the mYinsanity side. It's going to be a rough lane for the Templar Assassin. She is going to be spotted if she tries to meld dodge or anything like that, and she's already a little bit behind in the experience race. Up towards top, looks like Nikwa is going to be pushed out of the lane. Rubik, not really the best poker, at least not as good as a Scarith Mage, but when you do get the extra damage from the Luna, then things get a little bit more real for the Legion.
Seems like a little bit of miscoordination there from Arzeek and Limbo. The mine not placed where the telekinesis dropped happened, and actually the sentry ward here going to scout out the mine, so the creep going to be able to bring that down. Nice little win for Nikwa.
The dire sentry ward, I think, just a couple of pixels away from being able to save that. So both these sentries are going to be completely blind to each other, which is always a little bit awkward. But hey, Nikwa's not going to get blown up, at least not anytime soon. And this Legion Commander is already level 3. She can, in theory, just run at a Rubik who's trying to poke her out of lane, especially if Rubik has illusions. Usually illusions just add a little bit more harassment into the poking, but up against a Legion Commander, I'm not really sure if it's going to be a hurt or a hindrance. They're going to run to the techies. Nikwa, not into the landmine, will just be off and running to the right side, it looks like.
Yeah, interesting choice to put Arzeek up here in the safe lane. Legion Commander has the extra movement speed from the overwhelming odds, has a pressy attack to keep herself relatively healthy, so with only just the telekinesis and the mini stun, I don't know really that they can bring down this LC. Maybe Arzeek's services would be better used in the mid or the off lane, but either way, we'll see how Aspera fares. Currently, mid lane going fairly even, TA with a little bit of an advantage there, and the safe laners farming pretty evenly.
Crucially, though, Thug still does not have his bottle, and Milan doesn't have any regen to give to this Templar Assassin, so getting that bottle perhaps going to be a little bit difficult for this Templar Assassin. She has to rough the Queen of Pain's harassment to actually get that additional chunk of gold there. Try to meld dodge. We'll know that she's spotted and now taking a lot of damage. They get a fissure onto Undershock, but it's on the wrong side. Scream Thug will get the kill. Will tick down. Maybe Milan gets a deny. No, not quite. The fissure was a little bit too much for the Shaker to walk around. It is a 1-for-1 trade, but Templar Assassin grabs the bottle off of that one and gets the kill first. Better, therefore, for mYinsanity.
Yeah, definitely a win for the Radiant side there. Top lane, meanwhile, Nikwa is totally finding, being able to soak up all this experience here. They're not even really committing any pulls. Already level 4 on the Legion Commander to the level 3 of Afterlife's Clockwork. He has picked up his Tranquils, though, so should be able to sustain himself against this harass from the Skyrath.
Legion Commander not getting any help right now. It seems like Milan, for his purpose right now, is just to make sure that Thug is not going to get completely crapped on in this middle lane. And so far, looks like he's doing an okay job there. He's level 3, pushing level 4 pretty soon, and his jungle stacks are starting up. Not really anything too immense just yet for the Shaker, but Templar Assassin, very capable of clearing out those stacks. Perhaps it's not as good as a Shadow Fiend or a Queen of Pain, but yeah, she could definitely get the job done. So it's essentially a mid lane, dual lane, and Milan going to walk right into a suicide from techies. Poor Shaker. Never saw it coming.
I was watching it the whole time, and unfortunate for him, looking to maybe rotate towards that top lane, and he's going to get brought down, but Not the biggest kill. Thug's still farming decently well, and him being just around in mid lane has seemed to deter Undershock a bit. Undershock picked up another DD rune and does have it available. Bottle is up onto Thug, though. He will pop it now. He's going to try and put a lot of harass damage into this TA. We'll be able to back out to disjoint that tower hit.
But up towards top, this Legion Commander is actually doing incredibly well. Might run into a couple of landmines, though. I'm not really sure how many are here. Looks like it was only one. Nico doesn't really care about that at all. In fact, with one passive proc, she'll get right back up to Vital Bounce HP. Here comes the Apathy with a Lucent Beam. Another in 2 seconds. Not even needed. Legion Commander is going to get picked off. If you're going to go for that type of skirmish versus a Rubik, you really need the movement speed advantage, like a little bit better than Brown Boots, like Phase Boots, something like that. Yeah. Or you need duel, and neither of those were up. So over towards mid lane, Undershock going to get into another fight with Thug. Refraction is going to hold for a little while longer, and Thug will win the race and get the kill on the double damage Queen of Pain. This dual lane mid is actually working out really well for mYinsanity. A lot better than I expected it to.
Yeah, they're really doing a great job of punishing the techies. But call down bot lane is going to connect 2 missiles, or 1 missile onto 2, and the Rocket Barrage finishes off the techies there. He did obviously have the suicide on cooldown from having used it towards that mid lane, so Nico Baby, well aware of that, is able to pick himself up a kill. Will have to rotate back to base, but doing well for himself on the gyro. 34 CS, level 6.
This game is a lot more even than the last, so I think we could all be thankful for that. We're not going to be seeing any one-sided stomps like in game 2, but it is still overall going slightly in favor of the Radiant side. Having Legion Commander die a couple times in the top lane, not really a terribly huge deal, since she almost does have her duel. She would like the Scarif Mage to be a little bit higher level so that they could instantly join up with each other and start insta-gibbing people and getting duel victories, but he's actually not doing too bad either. Like 4.5 for a support is actually really good, and that's mostly just because he's been in a duel lane for the most part. Up towards top, Niqua, he's going to hit with the full-on Eclipse. Another Lucent Beam is in 2 seconds, but Apathy, he's going to turn around upon with the Fissure and the press the attack from Niqua. They're going to get the kill, overwhelming odds rather, from Legion Commander, and Luna kill, that's big game.
I love the build from Spartan. It's one that I favor on the Skyrath. The max Ancient Seal is really effective. 5% per level, scales well with that amplification on the magic damage, and the Fissure and the overwhelming odds proving enough there to turn on the Luna. And it's something we touched upon early on. She's really not very tanky early on in the game, and squishy enough to be brought down there. Legion Commander able to pick up the level 6 off of that one as well.
Unfortunately, does not have enough gold for a TP, so can't instantly start using that duel, but Undershock over towards mid, has a blink, will have to use it. Please use it. Okay, no, we'll instead just stick up. But gets side splashed! Oh man, the BM kills Undershock with a misplay, a greedy play at that, and Thug gets a free kill, and they also somehow kill off the Rubik with just Skyrath Mage and Shaker. Skyrath Mage, again, not even at level 6, down towards bottom lane, Gyrocopter running away from Afterlife, but with the rockets connecting, Afterlife has to turn tail and run now. That was just a disaster in the mid lane.
Aspera looking a little bit discombobulated here. Techies is somewhat of a comfort pick for them, but they really have not been able to secure their lanes with one number less in general. And top lane, Undershock finally going to make a rotation. Does have the Sonic Wave available. They're going to bait out the Luna here. The Eclipse is not available. She's going to try and turn. But it seems like the Radiant are fairly aware of this. Nothing being scouted over in that mid lane. They do have that Observer Ward as well. So some good game sense coming out from this Radiant off lane.
Well, for the top lane, they really need the Shaker if they're going to be looking to get any of these dual kills, or dual victories, rather. Niqua otherwise isn't really going to be able to close the distance and get that, but we do have bottom lane. Afterlife with a hook shot, going to connect onto Nico Baby. He's very healthy. This Gyrocopter, however, is going to launch the call down, and the Rocket Barrage. That might kill off Afterlife. It will kill off our Zeke, and it will get 2. Nico Baby is going to collect 2. As you said, this is just discombobulation here from Aspera. You don't mess with the Gyrocopter who's level 8 as a techies who can't really do anything except for suicide, yet couldn't even get close. I think maybe because the Gyrocopter was even body blocking him, but that was supposed to be a kill on the Gyro. Instead, he gets 2 kills, and he's pretty much all alone in doing so. Limbo, he's going to get a concussive shot over towards mid lane with a TP. They'll play it a little bit more cautiously. Milan doesn't even have enough mana for a Fissure, although will get bottled up, looking for it now with the burst damage. They'll instead try to go for our Zeke. Their Fraction will hold, and Thug will get lifted up, but the Fraction is still holding. They're also trying to go for Limbo. Skyrath Mage is going to grab that one just by himself. Here comes Afterlife with a flare, but that's all he has. No, oh well, they'll jump in with the Sonic Wave. They'll get 2 immediately for Undershock. Milan again doesn't have a ton of mana right now, so at least they get something in this mid lane. Undershock salvaging that situation in a big way.
I think they actually win that. They end up winning that fight. TA Skyrath for the Rubik techies seems definitely a worthy trade for Aspera. Looked terrible for them early on, and especially across the map. Very low the Apathy here, top lane. Niqua, of course, no Blink Dagger just yet. Does have the duel available. And it's going to force the Luna to back off towards base. She actually did ferry out a salve, but probably going to walk back and TP in mid lane. Speaking of TPs, rotations coming in from 3 heroes of the Radiant side, and they could look to bring down Undershock here for sure if they're able to commit a duel as well. But it looks like the LC just content to farm up in the top lane for now.
Bottom lane, they're looking again for the Gyrocopter. This time Clock has a double damage rune. That might be the difference, but he gets the call down out really early. Suicide's going to completely miss, and Nico maybe gets the full-on Rocket Barrage. Here comes Undershock and Limbo, but he's just going to go ahead and race that with the Legion Commander coming in. They'll get the dual kill onto Nikwa and also kill off the Rubik. Guys, don't mess with Gyrocopter. He's going to mess up your day, and they also find the Apathy with the Flare. That won't kill him off immediately. Eclipse is there. Apathy will turn around and get the Skyreth Mage in response. But it's a small consolation, a very small one, because Gyrocopter gets so many kills, plus they get a dual victory for the Legion Commander. That was just a disaster for Aspera.
And this is the difference between the Gyrocopter being by his lonesome in the safe lane or the Anti-Mage being there. And it's just a lesson learned from mYi and played much better this game, especially considering that there's really only one hero less that they can commit for Aspera. I mean, the Techies has been there, but he really hasn't been very effective. That Suicide, of course, whiffing. Probably cost them the gyro kill there. Definitely cost them a gyro kill. Press the attack coming in to save him. So very unfortunate for the Dire side. But either way, even before then, 2 turns from the Gyrocopter and a pair of double kills. He's 6-0, 11 minutes into the game. He's averaging a kill every 2 minutes.
Pretty much by himself as well. Like, a couple of heroes helping him occasionally. He had a little bit of help from Skyreth Mage super early on, but for the most part, he didn't really have much help. And now they're going to try to go for Undershock over in mid. Thug is going to be a little bit scared of Clockwork and Rubik coming in. Suddenly 4 heroes in the mid lane for Aspera, but Thug didn't really do anything to force that rotation. In the meantime, up towards top lane, Nico Baby is pushing this top tier 1. Again, this Gyrocopter is really tanky and does a ton of damage. Undershock, oh, okay, getting into another fight with Thug. Gotta be careful there, but we have a Skyreth Mage up towards the top lane now. In the Apathy, he's sitting near a deniable tower. This is being spotted, so maybe Skyreth Mage is going to wrap around. Here comes Gyrocopter, wants to dive it. There's no Eclipse. Concussive going to land. Luna gets the deny, but at what cost? Because one missile's going to land. That's going to slow her down with the seal. They'll get the kill on the Luna. Not worth it. Down towards bottom lane in the meantime now, Nikwa. He's going to be pushing that one out, looking for Limbo. Gets lifted up, thrown back into the Queen of Pain, who's teleporting in. But Undershock, not too tanky. Nikwa, in fact, can turn things around. Duel into Undershock. Guys, stop messing with this bottom lane. Nikwa's going to get a couple lucky passive procs. We'll get that one as well. And Limbo, did he just return duel? He did.
Yeah,
but it looks like that didn't actually do anything because 2 duels overlapping. Fissure onto the Rubik, not going to connect, but Nico gets a kill for free.
That was a very interesting looking mechanic. The Legion Commander continued to attack the Queen of Pain despite being dueled by the Rubik. So interesting there. But either way, yeah, it seems like trades are going really well across the map for mYinsanity. They do lose Thug towards that mid lane, and it seems like he's really been the only hero dying for the Radiant side. 4-4 on that TA. They do find our Zeke once again mid lane. The Ancient Seal being there to prevent any suicide attempts. So Skyreth doing very well for himself. As you mentioned, getting that early kill towards the mid lane has really propelled him into this mid game. 13 minutes in, level 7. Already 3 points in the Arcane Bolt, 2 in the Seal. They are going to hook shot up Thug mid lane, but they're not going to be able to cog him. The duel is going to be there and going to give him raw damage from the Rubik. Not sure why they thought they could kill him off in the duration of that. And that's going to be popped off by the Clockwork. They do trap up Thug and will be able to bring him down. Lucent Beam going to be there to finish him off. A lot of commitment, though, from Aspera, bringing 3 heroes into that mid lane for a hero that's already died 4 times in this game.
Aspera, they're just committing all these heroes, and this time it finally works out, but I'm pretty sure Templar Assassin's going to be okay with that. You don't get dual damage very often as TA, and every single bit of physical damage on Templar Assassin hurts that much more because of the meld minus armor. Up towards top now, Nico Baby gonna launch the missiles towards the Apathy. There is an Eclipse available. Nico Baby's super tanky, will eat all of it. Trying to race the Apathy now, will lose the race. And finally, the Gyrocopter is brought down by the Luna by herself. Okay, mYinsanity perhaps have to calm down just a little bit, because those are the types of moves that they really can't afford to be making in the super long run. Also, they can't afford to lose the Legion Commander here to a neutral. Which they will, but they get a Blink Dagger on her beforehand, so, you know, whatever. Shit happens, I guess. But Aspera getting a couple of lucky breaks, finally. Is that going to be enough? It doesn't seem like it's going to be, though. They really just need to get... I think this Queen of Pain needs a couple more kills. She needs to also stop dying. And also this.
Yeah. Bot lane, Fissure, Seal, Flare, Limbo goes down once again. Yeah, I don't know that they can afford to make those stakes, but I don't know that they need to make those kind of maneuvers. They're just doing so well. Gyrocopter was almost at 8k net worth. Bot lane, they're going to find the Apathy with a Seal again. They're not going to bring him down, but they will force him back. And no regen up on the Luna as well.
Gonna get jumped. This is not a gyrocopter, but he's gonna put up as much of a fight as possible. Racing Afterlife back, doing a pretty damn good job. One more hit, not gonna do it. With the Sonic Wave coming in, Nico will get the kill instead with Overwhelmed. Charges to the mines, still alive, and forces out the suicide, which is again gonna miss. They do get the kill in the end, however, from Undershock. In a 2-for-1 trade for the Aspera side. It's not clean, far from it. But it's a victory nonetheless. But Limbo, he's on bottom lane. He's going to hit with the concussive and the fissure and the missiles. If that's even going to arrive in time, it won't. Rubik is really, really dead, and they'll probably get this tower as well. This game is absolute chaos, but again, it's mYinsanity slowly but surely pull ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Aspera find a decent trade there mid lane, especially if they're able to get this tower as well. But the Radiant have a glyph. They're going to pop it now. They're going to be able to rotate back to that lane if need be. And just pretty much rolling in this one. Undershock has really been the only one who's been able to find kills, but he also has 6 deaths. So is still 550 gold away from that Aghanim Scepter, 16 minutes in. It's not a terrible timing for this Queen of Pain. Seems like the only one really keeping up. The Luna, despite finding that kill top, hasn't really seemed like a big factor at this point. Does have that level 2 Eclipse now, though. So maybe look for Aspera to ball up and find something. Afterlife, after looking so good in the last game, hasn't really been very much of a factor in this one.
And the level 2 Eclipse, even though it is really nice, isn't really going to help you because now the combo is up and it is super strong with the Legion Commander and the Skywrath Mage. Skywrath has already been pretty much solo killing people. Speaking of solo killing people, Nikwa Baby is going to get fed yet another silver platter kill. Nikwa and Spartan, they want whoever they can find. This time it's going to be Undershock. If they seal him, they kill him. Blink, Duel, Fissure, and the Flare. Undershock actually surviving a lot longer than I thought to that combo, but still is going to fall regardless and give Nikwa his 3rd stack of damage. Now to a cool plus 34. And this tower is also guaranteed to fall. This is not looking good for Aspera. They now have no more outer tier 1 towers. Maybe they get the tower denied with the Rubik. No, not going to happen. Instead, Concussive going to land to Limbo. Nikwa going to blink right in. Doesn't have a duel for another 30 seconds. But I don't really know if that's going to matter. With the Fissure, with the overwhelming odds, they'll slash Limbo down with the Legion Commander and get a bonus kill on top of that tower. Also, the Gyrocopter arriving means they can, in theory, go for a tier 2 or Roshan, depending on what they feel like.
Yeah, they're going to clean up the agents from the Dire side, and they can probably fairly easily go Roche with that Melt Strike. S&Y just delivered as well to the Gyrocopter. They even have the press the attack for the extra right-click coming out from the LC. So should be a very easy Roche for the Radiant side, and Undershock just respawning now. No tier 1 bot lane. I feel like the response will be slightly too late here. He does TP to the bot lane and has that ultimate at the ready. No Aghanim Scepter, but it looks like Roche gonna be dying momentarily. He jumps in for it. They go with the hook shot as well. Mystic Flare is there. Aegis and Immortal picked up by the TA though, and instantly the 2 Dire heroes will melt. Spartan gets low, but he drops the concussive shot and is able to get away from that Eclipse. Now the Flak Cannon is there. Press the attack as well. Mine does hit onto 2 though. It'll bring down the Aegis and the and another hero, and the Gyro drops as well. Aegis and LC, excuse me, Psionic Trap onto Limbo. He stole the Meld though. Will be able to invis himself up, but Aspera actually not taking the best of trades there after melting 2 very important heroes in the pit, and the Clockwork and the Queen of Pain.
It still could have been a lot worse. They get in there with the Eclipse. They actually, they take out the Aegis, and they exchange kills rather evenly. And being behind, if you're trading kills evenly, that's exactly what you want. The problem is that they don't kill off this Templar Assassin, and she has her Desolator completed. Also, the Legion Commander did win a duel victory in the midst of that, so now 248 damage. And Shaker is very, very close to his Blink Dagger. In fact, should get it after just clearing out this creep wave. So the end result in that fight for Aspera was a lot better than they probably should have expected. Techi's also doing a hell of a lot of damage within the duration of that fight, but it's still a little bit of extra gold going into the pockets of mYinsanity into more relevant items. Desolator, Blink Dagger, and Legion Commander on the bottom lane got jumped and will get brought down. Another good pickoff for Aspera. They may be able to take down this tier 2, but at the same time, Arzeek, he's going to run to Nikwa Baby. We'll straight TP out of here. Rocket Barrage doing a lot of damage, but not quite enough.
Yeah, Sonic Wave, hookshot, expended bottom lane. Hopefully they're able to get a tier 1 off of it for their sake, and it does seem like the case in terms of the TPs for the Radiant side. Gyrocopter and TA are the only ones who have it, so they'll look to make a trade mid with that Desolator pickup. This should be a fairly quick tower push. Glyph is available for the Dire side as well, but it doesn't look like they're too willing to contest this.
Well, they have Arzeek coming in. Denying with 50 damage is really damn hard, and Limbo's going to come in as well with the Meld hit. Meld and Rubik's actually really good. They do get the tower deny, actually. Not bad, but will they lose anyone in response? Flak Cannon flying will not kill off Limbo because he Meld hit dodged most of it, but the Fissure will kill him off. And also, Techi's going to die in the Flak Cannon in the meantime. Apathy now slowed down. Mystic Flare not going to do it, but the Blink Echo will. Now into Afterlife, they're also going to try to go, but no Fissure. They can't stun him up in time for the Cogs. Before the Cogs come up. Yet it's a tower destroyed, a secondary tower to probably fall in the top lane, and they get 3 kills.
Yeah, this is really looking poor for Aspera here. They're going to be able to take down this tier 2 top. No glyph available. Desolator up on that TA, so they should take this with relative ease. And still 25 seconds on the sideline for the Luna. Maybe can even look to pressure high ground, but probably look to see them take out all the outer tier towers beforehand.
They don't have the Aegis from before because they did already use it, so going up high ground is something that mYinsanity will be a little bit more cautious at approaching. Maybe Nico Baby has to grab his BKB before they go for that, and he hasn't even started that one, so they have all the time in the world. They also have Arzeek in their sights over in mid. Blink forward for Milan's Chainstun. Arzeek is going to get silenced and dueled. I don't even know if Nico landed a right click there, but regardless of that fact, now to plus 62 from just the duel damage, and with Blade Mail right around the corner. Legion Commander is getting stacked. Gyrocopter is getting stacked. Templar Assassin getting really big as well. And from Aspera, their Luna has almost BKB, yet the physical damage output of mYinsanity is going to mean that even with the BKB, Apathy is far, far from safe.
Yeah, this is looking grim for Aspera. The point click or instant silence has really helped them out. Limbo's going to be caught out here. Hookshot onto 2, going to counter initiate from Afterlife, but they melt one already. Nikwa barely surviving into the cogs, trying to bring down 1. He brings another down. Already 3 from Aspera are dead, and Undershot going to have an Arcane Bolt chase him. He barely survives. 4 dead. TA does end up going down to the Queen of Pain with the techies there, but it ends up being a 2 for 4. Still, things looking very good for the Radiant side. And
they want Undershock, Blink, duel, Rockets with the Wolf there. More damage.
Easy kill despite the Dire having vision there. The Radiant having vision lower. And should have been known, actually just outside the range of that Sentry, unfortunately, for the Dire side. So they find more there, as you mentioned. It's pretty much a full team wipe over the course of the fight.
And Nikwa gets a couple of duel victories. Also is very lucky to escape the initial brunt. Got into a fist fight with the Luna by the end of it. But with so much stolen damage and with a couple of lucky procs, a moment of courage, Nico was able to survive and ended up getting another duel victory afterwards on that Queen of Pain. Gyrocopter gets to live, and he has the majority of his BKB now completed, and he should be completing that one soon. Losing the Templar Assassin, not really a big deal for mYinsanity because they're getting so much in exchange. In Aspera, they're losing their Luna, they're losing their Queen of Pain. Really, those are the 2 heroes that they need to keep alive at this stage, but that's obviously just not in the cards. Echo Slam wasn't even used in that fight. And for mYinsanity, they really don't have to wait for anything else before they just constantly look for more objectives or just, more kills. Duel at this point, you could consider that an objective, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what Aspera does to come back from this. The BKB now comes out from the Gyro, the Blink comes out from the TA, and I feel like the late game is still handily in their side. They are going to use Sonic Wave something.
On Illusion. Illusion of someone. Probably Shaker because he has another one, but... yeah, Sonic Wave,
I mean, it's an Aghanim.
Not that bad.
Yeah, it's an Aghanim's cooldown, so they just wanted to melt him, not knowing what was behind him. That's fair enough, but they do know that cooldown is on the sidelines for at least a little bit, and it looks like they'll throw Nico Baby up towards that middle lane with his H-Dom and his Alpha Wolf there.
Oh, they have Queen of Pain in their sights instead. Queen of Pain is going to see this one coming, runs up to the top left, and now probably this hill is going to be dewarded by the rest of mYinsanity. They have to have sentries for this one because they are scared of potentially running into a stack of mines. Unknowns to them, though, Arzeek doesn't really have any remotes up, and he has only, what is this, 1 landmine? Yeah, that doesn't really do that much. In fact, Limbo and Arzeek dropping below half HP just to the flat cannon shots of the Gyro. Now is really where you want your techies to be with, what, 5, 6 remote mines in the mid lane? This is not good enough, and even if it was to suddenly get a whole bunch of mines up, Scarith Mage is a gem.
Yeah, Spartan doing so well in this one. Rod of Aoi and the gem available to him. So with the refraction charges and them being more than well aware of what's up on the high ground, they can drop these mines and look to commence the push here. The concussive shot going to go out onto Limbo, and the Apathy going to throw out a Lucent Beam onto the Gyro. It looks like the Radiant going to have to wait for that next wave in order to push high ground. But 40 to 19, 24 minutes in, and over 10k in the way of both gold and experience. Seems like a good enough lead for them to go high ground. Fresh 10-second BKB available as well. Blink Blade Mail on the LC, Blink on the TA, and we'll see the buildings now be pressured.
They blow up all the mines with their refraction charges, get out there with no damage done. They also have a hell of a lot of sustain with this Legion Commander. They have one set of arcane boots on the Shaker, I believe that's it, but this spell from Legion Commander is so cheap compared to what she needs to be casting that she pretty much can spam that one out non-stop. They're going to point an arrow down towards the bottom lane, tier 2. Seems like Spartan's the one who wants to go for the easy gold, and, well, he's a support hero. He always loves that easy gold. He's invis with a gem. Is there any true sight here from the Dire? It looks like there's not, so Scarith Mage is going to get a perfect read on where Aspera are, and Milan's moving into position with the Shaker. Nikwa maybe spotted rotating in, but they really have Nikwa in the area. That's who they want to join in. They have eyes on the Apathy now. They're going to try to force out the BKB, and they are successful. Limbo steals a fissure, which is nice to disengage, but they force out a free BKB. Now here comes Nikwa Baby from the back. You don't expect to dive this aggressively from Aspera. They do not have any vision of this, but they will all get out safely. But that's the first charge BKB? Yeah, down the tubes.
Yep. Yeah, 10-second BKB for essentially what's nothing from the side of the Radiant. They use a little bit of mana, but now this will commence the high ground push, knowing that that is on cooldown for 60 seconds. And with the Deso, this tower going to completely melt. Flat Cannon bring everyone super low from Aspera's side, and tier 3 just barely surviving here. Next wave will definitely be brought down.
I love it. Flat Cannon's doing so much damage right now that Nikwa's using Press the Attack as kind of a nuke versus the Techies and the Rubik. I think one of those Flat Cannon shots was missed by Nico Baby, or at least it didn't hit the Rubik Techies, but if he does get a Demon Edge, okay, no, it's actually going to be an Ultimate Orb, so I was going to say, if he gets any sort of damage item, then yeah, he could actually just kill off those two heroes with just Flat Cannon while shooting the tower, but he probably still will be able to. I mean, at this point, if you're Gyrocopter, better safe than dead, right? So you might as well go for a health item.
Yeah, I mean, if he picks up Scotty, I really don't see how they kill him, and he does, I think, more than enough damage. Not only that, has both the TA and the LC around him. So the Tricore looking very good here for the Radiant side, and I don't feel like they'll fall off at any point. They should scale very well, especially with this next life being available to them. Probably give this one over to Thug's TA and be able to go up higher. And they actually opt to give it to the Gyrocopter. So either way, he has the fresh BKB. They'll catch a Fissure and the Mystic Flare onto Arzeek. And this has just been a lovely game if you hate techies.
And let's be honest, that's everybody, except for maybe Arzeek. You guys may be thinking like, wow, Legion Commander, doing ridiculously. Why isn't this hero picked up more? She should have been stopped a lot more in the lane. They're going to jump forward for Limbo, actually. Try to chain stun, but Limbo gets the Fissure out. Here comes Afterlife with the hookshot. Milan's stuck. He's going to Echo Slam to kill off the Rubik in the top side. Maybe in the meantime, Nikwa Baby tanking a full-on Eclipse. Nikwa splitting a little bit of that damage as well. They kill off the Queen of Pain, force out a buyback, under shock. Now going to get a kill off of it. Legion Commander down. Nikwa Baby still at a decent amount of HP with the Aegis. Looks like Spartan will get chased down. Sonic Wave onto 3. Most of it blocked by the Refraction. Now Thug's going to look to assassinate under shock in response. This Queen of Pain just bought back and just will, like that, will fall. Here comes the Gyrocopter back from the dead. Techies going to teleport in again, but what can Techies do here? And Nikwa Baby actually going to set up for the rockets. Arzeek will get slowed down by it, and the rocket barrage will start to fly. Arzeek has a suicide, but he can't even get it out. The burst damage of Thug is way too high. Afterlife doesn't have a hook shot, so he is not going to be able to secure any of these kills on the retreat. Yeah, Legion Commander that time not really getting it done, but still she's up to plus 90 duel damage. I think she actually did win a duel there, it seems. So yeah, with TA and Gyro still alive, they could even consider going for more, considering how ridiculously farmed these heroes are.
Yeah, there's no Eclipse up, so I don't feel like this is too risky. And they are just going to take down the ranged and back out. Rocket Barrage BKB popped here by Nico Baby. He's going to look to man up. The Cogs will force him back, and the Refraction stolen onto Limbo will keep him alive. But now the melee racks with that Deso up, dropping very low under the cover of BKB. They're able to bring it down. The call down on top of the Fissure. Rocket Barrage is there. The missile kills off the Luna. Afterlife trying to save his Luna will pay with his life. And meanwhile, Enchant Totem on the east side coming out from Milan, and they'll bring down 3 triple kill, going the way of the Gyrocopter. Everyone down on Aspera side. 3 heroes down for roughly 40 seconds without buyback, and this could be easily 2 sets of racks, if not game.
Yeah, the medics are here as well, and the Earthshaker with the urn, the Nikwa with the heal as well. This is definitely game. Aspera, they have still like a Sonic Wave. They're going to try to teleport in. Sonic Wave going to connect onto 4, but immediately the duel's there. Undershock's going to get blown to hell. Nikwa's going to keep on fighting. Arzeek will get cleaned up for his 17th death, or 16th death rather. Died so quick they couldn't even read the score. And Apathy is just going to try to survive the onslaughts, and he will. But the game is over, and it is mYinsanity to, after a kind of close laning stage, they end up crushing, absolutely crushing Aspera.
Yeah, once again, looking very coordinated in their team fights, and movement early on was good. I think the trump card for them, or the difference in this game as opposed to game two, was just that gyrocopter pick as opposed to the anti-mage. Not a hero you want to dive deep when you don't have a creep wave around him, and the dire offlane made that mistake one too many times.
But also the Skywrath Mage, 12, 3, and 12 on a quote-unquote support hero. He got so many kills in the early stages, and just being involved in those kills got him the farm that you see, got him the levels, and that, of course, translates into even more kills in that type of hero. But, guys, we're not done for today because we have Screen Squad versus Yellow Submarine. Should be starting very soon. It's only 20 minutes off of schedule, but, hey, that's not that bad. I'm Mikelorus. I've been joined by Morage. Please, we hope you enjoyed this series. If you did, be sure to stick around for the next one. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Mikelorus, at MRP_Dota. It's all in the title. It's on the screen as well. And we'll just go for a short break, then we'll be right back with Yellow Sub versus Screen Squad. That one should be really exciting.
GG, guys.